The US Army is betting on nukes, not oil. They call it light speed for a nuclear initiative, a silent revolution of pocket-sized reactors built to power wars of the future. Energy that never sleeps, ambition that never stops. But can energy alone win a great power conflict? The United States Army is undertaking an ambitious transformation in how it powers its operations around the world. In what officials are calling the Janus Program, the Department of Defense is preparing to install advanced nuclear microreactors at military installations across the globe. According to reporting from Fox News, this sweeping initiative represents a fundamental shift in military logistics and energy strategy. Dr. Jeff Waxman, the Army official leading the effort, explained the driving force behind this initiative.
Great power conflict is defined by who can move their resources around.
The Army has identified a critical vulnerability in its current operations. Military bases worldwide depend almost entirely on fuel shipments, creating complex supply chain challenges that become increasingly dangerous in contested regions. The numbers tell part of the story. The federal government is allocating hundreds of millions of dollars over the next 5 years to make this program a reality. The target is aggressive too. President Donald Trump signed an executive order earlier this year directing the Department of War to have an Army-regulated nuclear reactor operating at a US military installation by September 2028. What makes this different from previous nuclear initiatives is the way it's structured. Rather than the traditional government contracting process, the Army is adopting a milestone-based model directly inspired by how NASA launched the commercial space industry. The same framework that funded SpaceX and Boeing to reach specific technical achievements is now being applied to nuclear energy. Commercial companies will design, build and operate these reactors, not the military itself. This approach is designed to accelerate development, lower costs, and create a self-sustaining market for small reactors that could eventually serve civilian infrastructure as well. The timing reflects the technological moment we're in. Energy demands are rising as modern warfare increasingly relies on drones, directed energy weapons, and artificial intelligence.
It is an immense challenge in terms of providing 24/7 power. Military bases right now are powered entirely by fossil fuels. It is not possible with current technology to provide 24/7 power with solar, wind, and batteries. So the only solution to the tyranny of fuel that exists now is nuclear power.
Construction of the first hardware is not expected before 2027, which Waxman characterized as moving at unprecedented speed for a nuclear program. He called it light speed for a nuclear initiative. The Army is working with multiple vendors, and each company is expected to build at least 2 reactors, with the second design refined by lessons learned from the first. The real strategic urgency becomes clear when you consider the geography of potential conflict. US military planners are preparing for possible confrontation with China in the Indo-Pacific region. Guam sits at the center of this concern. More than 90% of electricity on this crucial military hub island comes from imported oil delivered by foreign-flagged tankers traveling thousands of miles across contested sea lanes. As Waxman explained to Fox News,
having something that can provide power for years at a time without any resupply would be an absolute game changer.
this is why the geopolitical implications matter so much. The ability to generate power independently transforms military operations in remote or contested locations where fuel delivery becomes dangerous or impossible. Waxman articulated this challenge directly. He noted,
"Our ability to move energy around the oceans has never been more challenged."
But the Army's ambitions extend beyond military application alone. Waxman emphasized that the department wants to build a sustainable commercial market around this technology.
The Army doesn't want to be the only buyer of these reactors. If we can get industry to the 6th or 7th unit, where they can sell to commercial partners, then we've succeeded.
The technology itself represents a significant engineering achievement. Nuclear microreactors are factory-built power systems that produce between 1 and 20 megawatts of electricity, enough to power either a small town or a military installation. Unlike traditional nuclear plants that take a decade or more to construct, these systems are designed for rapid deployment. They can be transported by truck or aircraft and installed on site within weeks, providing steady carbon-free power for years without refueling. One major challenge remains. The materials, science and supply chain infrastructure supporting nuclear reactors still needs substantial development.
In order to provide components that are viable under the conditions of a nuclear reactor, you need certified suppliers, and there just aren't enough.
This early work will focus heavily on building that industrial capacity. The goal is to help consolidate and strengthen the supplier base so multiple companies can eventually share qualified suppliers. For now, these reactors will remain on domestic military installations. However, officials are designing the technology with future expeditionary use in mind. Whether stateside or eventually deployed overseas, the Janus Program represents the most significant shift in military energy strategy in decades. A recognition that in modern conflict, the ability to power operations independently might ultimately determine strategic advantage.